Hey there, how's it going? If you happen to have seen a video that I posted a couple of days ago, you might recognize that little symbol there. That was here before. I don't know who put it there. Just a little message of consciousness, love, whatever. So this video is on the subject of, can the law of attraction help starving children in Africa? Definitely a touchy topic, I think it's safe to say. So there is a comedy sketch by, I'm forgetting the guy's name now, and he's joking about a friend of his who's into New Age stuff, and he learns about the law of attraction and the book The Secret, and he has this little sketch in which he's poking fun at it and saying, imagine, starving children in Africa, and they have nothing to eat, they're, completely destitute, and you're supposed to use the law of attraction and just kind of imagine, well, I wish that there was some chicken and mashed potatoes sitting in front of me, and then that's supposed to do something. And so he's mocking it. Now, lots of different points to make from this. The first one is to keep in mind that this, starving children in Africa thing is a generalization, a misconception. Certainly it is a reality, but this general tendency to paint Africa as if everybody there is starving and in a hopeless state of being or whatever is obviously very ignorant. I haven't traveled extensively throughout Africa. I've only been to Egypt. I can say that is not the case in Egypt that I saw. People are living normal lives there, as is the case throughout a lot of Africa. There are 50-something different countries there. There's a wide variety of standards of living, etc. But the point is, obviously, just can the law of attraction help people who are in difficult circumstances in their lives? Now, it's easy for someone such as myself, who is from a affluent part of the world here in the United States and has had relative opportunities in abundance. I've traveled all over the world and had a wide variety of experiences and been, for the most part, well fed and taken care of. Now, I should mention that I've also been homeless for 6 years of my life, hitchhiking around the United States, sleeping on the side of the road, almost, broke a lot of the time, but that was my choice. I was choosing a different path, a more challenging route for the experience, because that's what I, wanted to experience in my life at that time. I didn't have to. I could have had an easier way to go. So it is important to keep some perspective, because it would be the height of arrogance and insensitivity to adopt the point of view that, I have it made because of my spiritual superiority, because of my great manifesting skills, my mastery of the law of attraction principles, and therefore I'm able to live in this world of relative ease and abundance and food and cars and all that kind of stuff. And those poor schmucks over in Africa and other third world areas just haven't figured out the trick yet, on how to improve their lives. That's a pretty fucked up way to look at things. It is much more complicated than that. I do believe in the law of attraction. I don't profess to know that it is an actual law of the universe, but I do believe that our energy matters, that life and the world is not something that is just happening to us. We are not victims of reality and circumstance, but we are creating our reality through various means, certainly through our own efforts, through our own initiative and our own intelligence and ability to figure out the world around us and how to use the physical laws of the world to create a life that we want to live. That's one element. I also believe that our energetic field matters, that we are living in a world of energy. It is all energy. We are energy, and energy interacts with energy, and that our state of mind, but not just our state of mind, the totality of our energetic being is a factor in the world that we experience, both in terms of our life here as we're living our life and attracting various experience to us and interacting with people and figuring out how to make our way in this world and make things happen, but also in terms of the circumstances that we find ourselves in this life, including where we are born, the parents that we are born to. I believe that we are attracted from the spirit world into a specific set of circumstances because that is what we choose for ourselves, for our own experience of learning. And because we may simply be drawn to that experience, those parents, that place, because of a certain resonance with it. And so I do believe in the concept of the law of attraction. Now, in that little skit poking fun at it, then this comedian illustrated his lack of understanding of how it works. I mean, no big surprise. It's not something he's into, and there are lots of misconceptions about it, anyways. Even in the book and movie The Secret, which is that it is not simply a force that you conjure at specific times in order to get things for yourself. It isn't that, it's some mysterious energy that's out there and you can sort of tap into it and then utilize the law of attraction. It is that it is working in our lives 24/7 in the same way that gravity is working in our lives 24/7, like it or not, whether you are aware of it or not. It is simply the way that things work. And so we are creating our reality whether we are conscious of it or not. How then do you look at someone in that kind of a situation in which they are in a destitute, seemingly hopeless set of circumstances, such that they have no food, no clean water, quite possibly don't feel safe in their environment. Life is a struggle day in and day out. So how can you take the law of attraction, apply it to that, and have some kind of an understanding of why people are actually in those kinds of circumstances? And so that is where things definitely get a little tricky to make sense of and figure out. Now, the first thing to understand is that life on Earth is about experiences. And life is not about whoever has the most stuff and the easier time is having the better experience for their soul. So that is an important thing to keep in mind, is that challenges shape us. The point of life on Earth is to have experiences that push us, that challenge us, that lead us beyond our comfort zones and our perceived limits. There's no point in having a life on Earth in which everything's just easy and taken care of, and you don't have to worry about anything and everything is hunky-dory. I mean, some people do have lives that are somewhat close to that, although there certainly can be misconceptions that, the rich have it easy, the beautiful have it easy, the famous have it easy. That's the grass is always greener on the other side perspective. And meanwhile, there are plenty of challenges that all of these types of people have that you may not be aware of, that you may not see watching them in a movie or seeing them on the news or, hanging out in their fancy mansion or whatever. But to the extent that some people have it a hell of a lot easier than others, then that is one experience to have, but is it necessarily the most beneficial experience? The experience that will truly teach you something valuable and evolve your soul, move you forwards in your evolution of self-understanding and self-knowledge. And so just to dispel the idea that those who have it tougher are simply suffering for no reason and that there's no purpose in it, that it is fruitless or whatever. Now that is not the end of the story. You can't just explain it all away like that and say, well, they're doing their thing, I'm doing my thing, and that's just what they chose. I think that there's more to it than that. That it is also a matter of working through soul issues and belief systems, and that it is not in any way, shape, or form a matter of superiority, inferiority, anything like that, but that people can simply go down roads in which they get trapped in their belief systems and their opinions and expectations of reality without realizing what they're trapped in and how they're stuck in their lives. And it is not a matter of that they're stupid and they just can't figure it out, but that they are working through something, how they can actually create a reality that they enjoy, but they haven't gotten there yet. And so it is a circumstance of learning, as all circumstances are. And it may just be that they just came to conclusions about themselves and about reality, who knows how many lifetimes or whatever ago, and got stuck on that track and just never got out of it. I don't know, if this makes any sense or not, but that to some extent there is a luck factor that certain individuals, certain souls will just, have moments of insight, of understandings that present a fork in the road, and they end up going down one road where someone else might end up going down another road that leads to something completely and totally different. And it's just a matter of the journey that they are on. And it is important to understand that this is a world of contrast, of different experiences. It would be stupid and silly for everyone to have the exact same experiences. And so within that contrast, and there's going to be tougher and easier experiences. And there are going to be those who suffer more and those who suffer less. And so to approach it all from a very multidimensional, flexible way of not having some kind of a simplistic conception of how this all works, but to try to peer into the very complex layers of reality in seeking to make sense of it all, and be aware that you don't know. You don't have it figured out. But it is up to each of us to have our own beliefs ourselves about how it works. And personally, then I believe that I have the power to create my own reality. That's what it comes down to, is, do you believe that or not? Simply having that belief certainly empowers you to a great extent. It's better if it's actually true in terms of ascertaining the true nature of reality. But belief is a very powerful thing, and to a great extent, maybe to a total extent, people are in a reality of their own creation based on their own beliefs, whether it appears that way or not. And it is their journey to figure it out. But in the spirit of oneness, then you can't just say, that's their thing, this is my thing, I have nothing to do with that. Because it is all connected at some level. And so it is not acceptable to simply abandon those who are in different sets of circumstances and just say, that has nothing to do with me, because we are all collectively creating this reality. And so everything is everybody's responsibility at some level. And so from that understanding, then, you can have greater compassion and maybe even take greater action to help the collective, and not just be focused on yourself and your own reality creation. But it is a world that we are all experiencing together. And so how can we all work towards creating a better world for everybody? All right, take it easy. Aloha, namaste.